Hey everyone, this is Clay Doolin from Doolin Guide Service coming to you from beautiful Bull Shoals Lake again. I got a fishing report for everybody since the last time I did one, probably 10 days, 2 weeks ago, something like that. Things have progressed even more. The last report was pretty good, but things have progressed. We're looking at fish that are normally out on the main lakes starting to make their progression towards the backs of the creeks, but they're not all the way to the back. They're maybe a third of the way back. So let's start with the lakes. We'll break them down one by one. First is Table Rock. I've been on Table Rock 3 times recently in the last, probably week and a half, so something like that. And it's been a tougher bite for me. I haven't been able to put the pieces of the puzzle together out there. I have been able to catch some quality, but nothing's patternable. I'll catch one on a jerk bait, I'll catch one on a crankbait, I'll catch one on a spinnerbait when it's windy, and I'm just kind of playing around, like trying to find the bite, and I'm just not dialed into it, but I am still catching decent fish, like 3-pounders that are probably 8 to 10 in a day. It's not tremendous fishing, but that being said, for the condition on Table Rock, I don't know. I just can't figure them out. I still think that Table Rock, their spawn cycle's further behind or something than it is on Bull Shoals, and I can't figure out the pre-spawn bite exact on that place. I'm pretty sure it's doing something what I'm not doing, which is throwing A-rigs on pea gravel points, and I probably should be doing that, but I didn't. Maybe the next time I go out, I'll give it a try. Water temperatures on all, on the 2 lakes, Bull Shoals and Table Rock, are 50, 51, 52. If you get yourself way up the Kings River on Table Rock, you'll see 54, 55, and I think a lot of people are chasing that water temperature, but our photo period isn't right. It hasn't caused these fish to move because of the photo period. Even though that water's a little warmer, there's also a ton of pressure. Every time you find warmer water, it's either dingier or shallower or whatever. People are targeting that, and they should, but it's got a ton of pressure, and the bites in that area are not that great. I would actually start targeting more main creek arms, big creek arms, fronts of them, main lake type stuff with wind blowing on it. Maybe even throwing some A-rigs. That's what I would do. But I have not figured it out too well on Table Rock. Now, it's the exact opposite for me on Bull Shoals, where I also spend a lot more time on Bull Shoals because it's closer to home. I enjoy the lake, things of that nature, and it doesn't get that much pressure. Bull Shoals is on fire right now. It's just going. The fish are not all the way at the back of the creeks. Like I said, the water temperature is 50, 51, 52. They're from the main big creek arm, the mouths of the creek arms, down about a third of the way. Maybe half of the way if you get some water temperature or some really good wind blowing in a certain spot. But I would stick to the major creek arms. They are really good. Over the last week, I've been out several times. Almost every day I'm on the water. And I'm having days where if the wind is pumping, I can catch them really good. Like yesterday, I had 20 fish in like 4 hours. Day before that, the wind was really cranking. I had 22 plus pounds for 5 fish, and I caught lots of 3 and 4 pounders with the wind cranking. That is the key. That is the key. If you get away from the wind, the bites just nearly shut down. If you're fishing in the heaviest wind you can possibly get in, and I don't care if it's blowing 30 and there's 2 footers crashing into a spot, stay in that area, stay right in front of it. You will load the boat quickly. It's bang, bang, boom, like 4 or 5 fish in one little spot. And then you get done with fishing in that heavy wind, you just chase it. You just run your boat down the lake, chase it to the next windy spot. I'm talking anywhere from the mouths of big creeks down into, the secondary points, because there'll be 2 or 3 secondary points further down from the mouth, or like secondary runouts, or a second, like a a big rubble pile somewhere that used to be a waterfall that cuts back a little bit, that's got wind blowing in it, anything like that, that just like has a stop sign that looks like it's bassy and it's got wind on it, you should be fishing it. And here's how I'm doing it. It's a combination of a few things, and then I'll kind of break it down as to how to play the condition after that. Okay, so how it's kind of going is rock crawler has obviously been a big deal, right? I can catch them on a rock crawler when the wind is decent, like 10 to 15. The red color, whether it doesn't matter what water color it is, I can throw the red one in almost any watercolor and catch them. It's the one color right now that is working in every watercolor. So just tie on a red one and throw it. I always like something with a green back. I've been preaching that like crazy. I don't know why. It just works. So the rock crawler is the deal. If the wind dies down even more than that, 5 to 10, a little bit light breeze, but you just can't get on them because the wind isn't cranking. Get a little shallower and use this bait. This has been a absolute killer for me. This is a Berkeley Money Badger. When the wind just gets a little flat, if I can find in the clear water, I'm throwing this in clearer water because it has a really subtle shake. If it's dirtier water, I'll go right back to a wiggle wart or a rock crawler. But in the clearer water, when the wind's just barely pushing in those areas, you back off the bank quite a ways, make long casts with this, and just pull the bait, stop it, pull the bait, stop it. I've caught some real big ones on this lately, a lot of 4-pounders. Almost every single fish I've caught on this has been 4+. Been really, really good lately. Quite a fan of that bait. Now, back to the wind. When the wind is cranking, a lot of people out here don't want to go fish in the wind, or they don't want to even be on the lake. It has been really windy. Almost every day there's gusts 25 to 30, 30 to 40 sometimes, and when it goes over 40, I'm just off the lake. It just gets too tough to fish. But as heavy a wind as possible I can fish in, I will target those same type of areas, but the fishing gets even better. And what I mean by that is it gets better on this guy. That's a 3/4 ounce spinnerbait. I kind of alternate between the Booyah Covert and the War Eagle. This is the bait. It's like a mouse color with a little bit of chartreuse in it. Put a little Kitech or a Rage Swimmer off the back and throw it to the bank. I mean to the bank. And hold on tight, because they are ripping the rod out of your hands. I mean that literally, because I lost a rod in the water from a big one jacking it. Incredible bite. When you're on them, you are on them. If you are off them, you do not catch hardly a thing. If the wind lays down a little bit on those same areas that you start catching that spinnerbait bite on, where there's quality, the wind lays down, return back to those same spots or same areas and throw a chatterbait. This morning, I couldn't get them to go on the same areas with a spinnerbait. There just wasn't enough wind, which is a good thing because I can make a video. The chatterbait, that's a Z-Man Evo, 1/2 ounce Evo tungsten with a Z-Man, I think it's a chatter shad. That's what it is. Sorry. Just a white color, some type of shad version. And today they were chewing it. I was able to make a little bit of an adjustment when the wind died down in those areas and be able to throw that chatterbait down the sides of the point, not across the point, but down the sides of the point, real tight. I mean, a foot, 2 foot off the bank, and kill that bait, drop it, reel it, kill it, drop it, reel it, kill it, drop it, and they'll eat it on the fall. It's not like a straight retrieve because the wind isn't cranking on it. And then the last thing, you can see the bushes behind me. They are not pushed up into these bushes yet. Very rarely am I getting a bite in them. I will go check them out in areas that I think is a little dirtier water. If I see dirtier water, I'm going to poke my nose back up into a cove or a pocket. And if it's got bushes and 3 to 5 feet of water, off of like a big flat, and I'm looking for small isolated patches, of these type of bushes. It's got to have the right condition in order to get a fish out of them. That means the water clarity's got to be 30. The bushes have to be in 3 to 5 feet of water. They got to be just one little row of bushes that's really isolated. And the water temperature's got to be in that 52, 53 at least, and probably midday when they want to get up in there and get warm and chase some shad around that's been pushed in by that heavy wind. And when that happens, booyah culvert. 1/2 ounce, double Colorado blade. It's the ticket. My larger bites will come on that, but they're few. That being said, it doesn't matter. You pretty much can go out here and do no wrong right now if you fish in the wind. When the wind gets flat, absolutely flat, calm. I'm picking up a jig and just trying to get my bites. 1/2 ounce jig with a twin tail on the back, and just drag it around off the main lake points. Because once the wind quits, it's like the only place I can get a bite is off big main lake points. I'll put the boat out in 30, 40 feet, bomb the bait all the way up to 10, and just slowly drag that back. The bites just are tough to come by after that, and they're not as big even though they're on a jig. It's power fishing season. It's the time. It is going. We will end up with even better and better fishing, if that's even possible. The conditions for the next few weeks look amazing. Yeah, fishing's good. And when these next few weeks that are coming, we're going to see water temperatures start to climb really well. The overnight lows are still low, but I think those overnight lows are going to come up. Our moon phase is at pretty much the worst it's going to get, and it's going to continue to get better. My guess is in a week to 10 days, we're going to start seeing fish that you could spinnerbait in the bushes near the backs of creeks, like halfway, 3/4 way back. And then another 2 weeks from now, I think we'll start to be able to not see fish on beds, but be able to catch fish that are starting to make them. That's pretty much the entire Branson fishing report for now. Taney-Como, I'm not even touching Taney-Como. I've had some friends and some people I've talked to, and the last few times I've been out, it is a tough bite out there. They can even see fish swimming and can't catch them. It's just a real tough bite, and I think we've got to have some real warm trends, get ourselves pretty far into the pre-spawn in order to get those fish to move. They're just they're real tough to catch. There's no doubt about it right now. But bull shoals is, I'm just gonna say it, bull shoals is far superior than table rock is right now, from my experience. Unless I was probably throwing an A-rig, which I don't do a whole ton of. I probably should. Come on down to Bull Shoals Lake. Skip Table Rock. Don't go there unless you want to go fish a tournament or something like that. But if you want to go catch a bunch of fish, some real nice ones. 4, 5, 6. I had about a 7-pounder on the other day. Unfortunately, I goofed that one up. Get a hold of me. Dual and Guide Service. 417-332-5873. I'll take you out, or I'll give you all the information you want to know if you bring your own rig. The fishing's fantastic. Just hit me up. I'll lay down a couple of areas that you should go to, and you just start doing the same things I'm telling you to do, and you can go catch some awesome fish this spring. Let me know. I'll see you guys later.